Hello students, today we are going to learn about chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Unlike physical properties, chemical properties are different in lot of ways. For chemical properties, we have to perform different chemical reactions, and by doing that reactions we are come across with certain properties, and that properties we known as chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So we will start the exact topic one by one. We will discuss with these 5 reactions. So first reaction is reaction with oxygen, then reaction with water, reactions with acids, reactions with bases, and fifth one is displacement reactions. Let's start with first reaction of reaction with oxygen. Okay, so chemical properties of metals. Most of the metals are reactive. That is why they are not found in the pure form in nature. Most of the metals are reactive. Means what? If we place metal in atmosphere, it is as it is, what will happen? These metals fastly or slowly they will react with atmospheric substances. These atmospheric substances are pollutants, moisture, or they will react with oxygen. And after reaction, there will be a changes in that metals, and because of that these metals are not found in the pure form in nature. But not all metals shows the same reactivity. They possess difference in their reactivity. Some are more reactive, some are less reactive, and because of that some metals do not react with other substances easily. For example, gold, symbol of gold is Au, and platinum, symbol of platinum is Pt. So they are found in pure form in nature. Okay, first reaction, that is reaction of metals and non-metals with oxygen. As we all know that in atmosphere there is 21% oxygen is present. So generally when metals reacted with oxygen, they will form metallic oxides. Okay, generally when metals are reacted with oxygen, they will form metallic oxides, or we call them metal oxides. The general reaction is metal plus oxygen, they will form metal oxide. For example, if there is magnesium, and if that magnesium reacts with oxygen, then there is product, that is magnesium oxide. Magnesium is the metal. Magnesium when reacts with oxygen, what will be our product? Magnesium oxide. Okay, so the chemical equation of this reaction is symbol of magnesium is Mg plus O2. It is a molecule of O2. Okay, and here we have to use 2 Mg. Okay, then the product is 2 MgO, that is magnesium oxide. Why we take 2 and 1 over here? To balance this chemical equation. When magnesium reacts with oxygen, it will form magnesium oxide. So magnesium oxide is metal oxide. Okay. Example number 1, copper reacts with oxygen. When objects made up of copper when exposed to air, magnesium shows a slow reactivity with oxygen and they will form a black or dull layer of copper oxide and metal lost its luster. So it is the object which are made by copper, yes, and when we expose this metal with in presence of oxygen, if we expose this in oxygen, what will happen? The metal lost its luster. So this copper metal now acquires black or dull layer of copper oxide, and here compare these two images. It is a shiny one but it's lost its luster. So it is a example of reaction of metal with oxygen. Okay. So for this reaction, the general equation of this reaction is when copper reacts with oxygen, they will form copper oxide. So 2Cu, symbol of copper is Cu, plus O2. Oxygen is always in the form of O2. Okay, and we have to take 2 copper molecules over here. Getting? It will form copper oxide. So 2 copper plus O2, they will form 2 copper oxide. Another example is corrosion. Means some metals when react with oxygen, moisture and pollutants in the atmosphere and form compounds on their surface, this is known as corrosion. Okay. So rusting of iron symbol is Fe. Rusting of iron is a form of corrosion because iron when reacts with oxygen, moisture and pollutants in the atmosphere, they will form a compound and that compound is known as rust. Okay, and we call now iron as we called as rusted iron. Okay. Next is rusting of iron. Okay, just we discussed that iron reacts with oxygen in the presence of water or moisture to form iron oxide, and iron oxide is commonly called as rust. What? Iron oxide is commonly called as rust. It is a equation iron plus oxygen plus water, it is called as iron oxide or we called it as rust. Okay. Iron, we have to take 4 molecules of iron, then 3 molecules of oxygen plus H2O. The formula of iron oxide is Fe2O3. Okay. So to balance this equation, we need 4 molecules of Fe, 3 molecules of O2 and oxygen, that is H2O. Getting? So compare over here. This iron nail is a shiny one. Okay, and after exposing these iron nails into atmosphere, they will get a rust on it, means they form a compound. So the quality or the shininess of this iron nail loss. Okay, so look at here. One more example, iron chain. If we put iron chain as it is in the atmosphere, after some time they will lose its luster and they acquires compound on it which we called as rust. Okay, so rusting of iron is a daily or we observe this example in our daily life. Okay, so it is a rusting of iron, it is a metal reactions. Okay, then we have to check this rusted iron with a litmus paper. Okay, you have one activity that is on page number 46, activity 4.3. In that we have to test metal oxide and non-metal oxide with litmus paper. So what is litmus paper? Litmus paper is a tool it is made up of paper only, but some dyes are used to make this litmus paper, okay, and because of that this litmus paper have a colors. So litmus paper is a tool used to test whether a substance is or solution is an acidic or basic. Solution means if we put that substance into a water, it will form a water based solution of that particular substance. Okay, for example, salt. If I add salt into a water, what will form? It is a salt solution. Okay, so litmus paper is a tool used to test whether a substance or solution is an acidic or basic. So this litmus paper is also known as pH indicator. What is pH? In chemistry, pH is a scale which used to specify how acidic or basic or neutral a water based solution is. pH is a scale. So like our mathematics scale, it has a numbers on it. Means 0 to 14 is the range of this particular pH. So between 0 to 6, pH of that solution is acidic. 7 is the neutral pH and 8 to 14 is alkaline or the basic pH. So this scale used to determine the pH of particular solution. Okay. So there will be if we use two kinds of litmus paper, red or blue. If I put red litmus paper into a solution and if red litmus paper turns blue, okay, I am repeating, if I used red litmus paper and if I put that litmus paper into a solution and if red litmus paper turns blue, then that solution is of basic in nature. Getting? And if I use blue litmus paper and after putting that litmus paper into a solution and if that will change into a red color, then solution is of acidic in nature. Red litmus paper if turns blue, basic solution. Blue litmus paper if turns red, it will be acidic solution. Okay. For this, just I discussed, we have one activity, that is activity 4.3. In that we have to test iron rust with litmus paper. For this activity we require certain requirements, that is a rust. Then how we will get rust? So for this we have to take any rusted iron object. We have to scrap that object with a spatula or a knife so we can easily remove rust from that object. Okay, so this is our rust. Then we need a test tube, we need a water and we need a litmus paper. So for this, the procedure of this activity is take a rust, dissolve this rust into a test tube in which water is there. So dissolve this by shaking well, the rust will dissolve. Then take a litmus paper, add solution of this rust onto a litmus paper and observe a color change. And after observing that color change, we have to write result. So this activity which we are going to perform, we have to write this in our practical book. I will tell you that how to write these activities in your practical book. Before that, let's watch the activity. Okay. Activity 4.3, testing the nature of rust with litmus paper. For this activity, we require test tube, red litmus paper, rust, pipette. Just we mention, to get rust, we have to scrap rusted iron metal with spatula or with a knife. Okay, so let's start with activity 4.3. Take a test tube, add water into the test tube, then add rust. After adding rust into the test tube or into the water, shake well your test tube so that rust will get dissolved into the water. After shaking test tube, take litmus paper. Keep the litmus paper, red litmus paper, on a white paper so that it is easy to check color change. Add rust solution onto a litmus paper. What you observed? Red litmus paper turns blue. So, after adding rust solution on red litmus paper, the red litmus paper turns blue. Just we discussed earlier, if red litmus paper turns blue, then the solution is of basic in nature. So what we conclude here, or what is our result? Rust is basic in nature. And if blue litmus paper turns red, then solution is of acidic in nature. So what we observed here, red litmus paper turns blue, that is rust is basic in nature. So rust is metal oxide, means iron oxide. So automatically metal oxides are basic in nature. This is our result. So next part of this activity is that we have to write down observation, result and conclusion in our notebook. Okay, so observation is red litmus paper turns blue. Result is rust is basic in nature, and by doing this our conclusion is metal oxides are basic in nature. Okay, thank you. Write down this observation in your notebook for activity 4.3. The red litmus paper turns blue. Result is iron oxide, that means rust, is basic in nature, and in general metallic oxides are basic in nature. Up to this, what we have learned, that metal oxides are basic in nature because red litmus paper turns blue. Revise this session and write down observation and result in your notebook. Till now, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.